Hello everyone, how you doing today? Mercury here, coming to you with the message. So what do I want to talk about today? Well, I have a friend who's helping me out a little bit, and I wanted to pay her back in some way, and so she suggested I do a video on. Now, I wasn't really too clear on what she was asking. She said that she wanted to know more about the moon's nodes and planetary influences and how they influence or affect or something along those lines the archetypes. So I did a video the other day on this, and I published it for maybe 20 minutes, probably not even that, and took it down because I wasn't really feeling it. And I wasn't feeling it largely because I wasn't really sure what she was asking, so therefore I wasn't really sure on what I was trying to say either in the video. Now I did have some information, but I just don't feel like that information had any actual real substance. So that's why I kind of removed the video. So when she said about the archetypes, I was kind of like, well, which archetypes? So I did a quick Google search and found the 12 literary archetypes, and I know that she has studied, I believe, English linguistics or something along those lines, anyhow, literature, something like that is what she studied. So yeah, when I got the 12 literary archetypes, I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting that there's 12 and there's 12 zodiac signs. So I tried to appoint each archetype with a zodiac sign that I felt would suit that archetype the most. Plus I also tried to describe archetypes that was the opposite of, because the literary ones seemed to be more positive, right? There was no victim in there, or the child, or a few things like that. So I found those, and anyhow, I don't really think that that's what she was getting at. I think she might have wanted more about the hero and the victim, or the adult and the child. I think she was talking more specific about those ones. So to me, I'm gonna put the hero and the adult as the same, and the victim and the child as the same, which I don't think that is 100% accurate, because I don't know, I feel like the child doesn't necessarily mean the victim, and the parent or the adult doesn't necessarily mean the hero. But anyhow, whatever. So one thing that I had said in that other video was about the planets. Okay. Personally, I don't believe that the planets influence us in transit. I believe the planets in transit offer opportunities. The planets in our birth chart, however, has influence in our characteristics. But the planets in transit, I feel, offer opportunities that we either take those opportunities, or we don't take them or receive them. And what else was I about to say on that? Oh, and the opportunity, whichever we decided, then has influence on us, in a way, you know. And it all depends to what degree, how big of a transit this was, or was it just a subtle transit? Because some transits are bigger than others. If it has to do with the nodes, usually they're fated events. So those ones there will have a larger impact on someone. So what do I want to say now? I guess I want to say, trying to answer the question about the archetypes of the hero and the victim. Now, this has a lot to do with houses, okay? So the houses, and to know the houses, you got to know your rising sign. To know your rising sign, you got to know your birth time. Once you have your birth time, then you can know the house placements in your chart. And so, yeah, there's a few things that also have let's just go with the houses for now. So the first house, that is the house of ego, okay? The second house of value, both personal and material. Third house is communication. Fourth house is home and security. Fifth house is creative house, rules children and true love and art and that kind of stuff. The sixth house is work and health. Seventh is our contracts and relationships, and marriage kind of deal. The eighth house is our shared resources. It is how deep, like a deep sexual or emotional kind of area. The ninth house is our beliefs, our higher education, travel, and foreign ideas even. The 10th house is foundation, structure, reputation. The 11th house, wishes, community. The 12th house is dreams. And so here, the 12th house is an interesting house. When I was more learning astrology, so I had some paperwork, and for the 12th house, it just said prison. And so that made it difficult for me to understand the 12th house. What does it mean by prison? So it's the house, it's the last house, it's the 12th house. So it's the house of completion or undoings. But still that prison, like, how does that represent? How I finally came to understand it was I looked at the opposing house, which is the 6th house, Virgo's house. And Virgo is about selfless service. So I ended up looking at the 12th house as how we serve ourselves, okay? And are we serving ourselves? If we're not serving ourselves, that's not very good. But even how we serve ourselves, and I'm going to use something in my life as an example, okay? So I bought a house a little over a year ago. Now, I chose to do that. That's how I chose to serve myself at that time. And having made that choice came with some commitments, came with a reality that is kind of locked in, okay? And that locked in reality is kind of like the self-created prison, okay? It's the prison that we chose, but now we are in a way chained to that choice. And we have the ability to break those chains anytime we choose, but a process has to happen for that to unfold. Okay. Now, so in regards to the hero and victim, it has, to me, a lot to do with the 1st and the 12th house, the ego and the undoings. Okay. So, if you complete the 12th house, if you served yourself well, then come that time of year where for who, like I myself, I'm a Virgo rising, so September is a time of year where I'm rewriting my ego. And I'm rewriting my ego. That rewriting of the ego depends largely on how the basically Leo season went for me, which is, I kind of really enjoy being a Virgo rising because of the Lionsgate season, right? The Lionsgate is such a manifesting, powerful manifesting time of year. And for me, it provides an opportunity for a rebirth of an entire different self-image. And yeah, you know, I have Saturn in my 12th house. So Saturn is the planet of restrictions, of discipline, of he's the great teacher, yet he teaches through challenge, through restrictions. He makes things difficult, and so they say that in astrology, the 8th house and the 12th house are the two hardest, and I'll even put the 4th one in there as well. The water signs, the emotional signs are typically pretty difficult to sorry, not the signs, but the water element in regards to the houses. So where was I now? Yeah, so when, regardless of what sign you are, when we are in our 12th house, usually we're presented with, you know, some people, it's easy. They don't have any planets, or they have planets that are plenty supportive, or, you know, like some people have no problems. Other people, like who have, you know, Saturn in their 12th house, keep having this wall that they have to break through to complete the cycle of what that year had to offer for your ego to be born, you know, with man, it's such an easy word. Why can't I think of it? With confidence. There we go. And to feel secure and all that kind of stuff, you know. so yeah, that's where we're at basically. And anyhow, I guess that's my video. Do I want to add anything? I was kind of going to mention, like, right now being in the Sagittarius eclipse here. Sagittarius is my fourth house, and so this is the house of kind of trying to come home to ourselves and create some emotional security. The fourth house is at the very bottom of the chart, so it is the foundation of our emotional well-being, maybe of our feeling secure within ourselves. Even though the 10th house, which is the Capricorn house, Capricorn ruling foundation, in this case, Capricorn, the house associated with Capricorn is at the top, and here has more to do with our reputation rather than what I was what I just said a second ago. Why is my brain such a gap right now? Like, I haven't smoked anything or anything like that. Fairly clear mind. But yeah, that's it's basically what I have to say on that. So yeah, if you know your rising sign, then you can look at the moon cycles, or basically not so much the moon. The moon cycles have are related or whatever. The seasons, so Aries season, Taurus season, Gemini season, etc., etc. And the seasons are usually when the sun enters that area of the chart. But the moon, for example, like Aries season usually starts about the 21st of March. Now the new moon might not happen until April 4th or something like that, let's say, which is 2 weeks later. So then what ends up happening is the sun will change into Taurus, but that moon cycle is still in Aries. So there's kind of like a cusp area almost where you're wrapping up one season as you're also kind of beginning the next. And I don't know why I really added that in there, but I did. And yeah, so I don't know. I guess that's what I have to say. I feel like this video kind of answers what she was curious about. Hopefully I answered it anyhow. That other one just seemed to be like pulling at straws. So yeah, anyhow, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.